Good morning, YouTube, and we are about to go on air. Well, here we are. It is going past 6:30 for a Monday morning. This is Business Express, and of course, for Business Express, you expect the voice of Rotus. Good morning, Rotus. How you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning, Shokwe. Good morning to all our listeners out there. Good to be with you all again to kick off the new week.
All right, that's great. Now, let me tell you a little bit of what we've got coming your way for the next 15 minutes. Or rather, let me tell you how you can join the conversation for the next 15 minutes. You can send WhatsApp messages in to 0809 440 981. You can also go over to Twitter and use the hashtag BusinessExpress981 and tag us in at Rotanquote. That is Rotus's handle, and we are at Smooth981 FM. And you can also send WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 981. All right, Rotus, so let's get to it. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah, I saw over the weekend that Mexico is ending its fuel subsidies for countries that border the United States. So Mexico and the United States, border each other around Texas, I think California, and some other states in America that border Mexico. So they've been subsidizing fuel ever since the war began and oil prices shot up. Mexico has been subsidizing fuel for its citizens in order to reduce the price pressures that they are facing. So what they noticed is that Americans were coming in from their border states from Texas and California and so on, and driving into Mexico in order to buy fuel. At least the Americans that live on those border states close to them were driving into Mexico to buy fuel, fill up their cars, and then drive back into America. If you're an American citizen, you don't need any much paperwork. You just need to show your passport or your driver's license or whatever that you're an American, and you can go in and out. So they've been going
great personally before. Mexico maybe not so great.
Yeah, right. So they just stopped it. They didn't struggle. There was no long story. Why is this happening? Why is that? They said Mexico, I think it was their finance minister, said that they had been notified that there was a supply-demand imbalance around its states. And let me just mention where those cities are. Border states of Tamaulipas, Nuevo León, Coahuila, Chihuahua, Sonora, and Baja California, and Tijuana, including Tijuana. So these are all the border states. So they just ended it because the subsidy is not for Americans. The subsidy is only for Mexicans. It is coming at a cost because they are paying the difference between the pump price of fuel and the reduced price that they are providing to Mexicans. So if you think about what's going on here, the way our fuel subsidy has reduced the cost of fuel for border countries. So that's why you have so much smuggling. You've got people, fuel tankers, or whether in barges or however they are transported, crossing the border into Niger, into Chad, into Cameroon. I was part of a oil and gas forum where an official said that, in fact, as far as what is it now, Sudan, as far as Sudan, fuel from Nigeria was going all the way over there, and it has increased the number of the consumption in millions of liters per day. It has increased. Our population hasn't caught up or risen in the same vein. So the lesson here is that this smuggling we've been struggling with for so many years and have not been able to stop. Another country has just done it like that. There's no long story about it. They just simply stopped. So basically, if you live in Tijuana or Baja California, any of those cities, fuel price is now deregulated. So basically, equivalent of Nigeria saying that, well, if you are near the border of Niger, Cameroon, Ghana, wherever else that border, other states that border, countries that border Nigeria, fuel around those areas, they've just deregulated it because we cannot be subsidizing the consumption of other countries, right? So the security lapses that we continue to face in this country that astronomically raise costs for us, and we don't seem to be able to handle, is something that others are just handling in a snap. So it begs the question, why is it that we have not been able to clamp down on these things? Is it because there is collusion between security forces and those that are smuggling these goods? Even if you bring in our borders and you think about the amount of bags of rice that are smuggled into this country, you can't hide a bag of rice. It's got to be in a car or a truck.
And they are quite large.
Yeah, quite huge. So there's no way a car can cross the border with multiple bags of rice and somebody doesn't see it. Where are the immigration officers and border patrol and so on? So yeah, I mean, Mexico just announced this yet on Saturday. They announced it on Saturday. They're like, look, we're not subsidizing fuel for Americans that are driving into our country to take advantage of subsidized fuel, winding it for those border cities. For the ones closer into the heartland of Mexico, the subsidy will remain. So look, and it's not just Mexico that's subsidizing fuel here. There are Kenya is doing it. I think South Africa just announced that they're going to try. South Africa said that they'll reduce a fuel levy. Like 1/3 of South Africa's fuel costs are made up of taxes. Those taxes go towards funding car insurance. If you have an accident on a South African road, whether you're a citizen or not, car insurance is provided to pay for that accident, coming from taxes that are levied on fuel. So, we don't have any taxes on fuel at this point. One can argue that people are already overtaxed in Nigeria and the money is not getting where it needs to. But Kenya, South Africa, they've got taxes. Kenya's subsidies are being funded by taxes on fuel. That's how they started subsidizing about 4 months ago. I hear them too. There's some corruption happening there, but either way, there's a solution. So there are other lessons that we can learn, not only from the Mexicans, from the Kenyans, or the South Africans, but we're still yet to implement any of them. So there you have it.
We've got a couple of messages, Rotus, up on WhatsApp. And of course, you can leave a comment up on our YouTube feed. We are live up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. So going over to WhatsApp, Benga Akomu says the problem of smuggling is a collusion between the security agencies and the smugglers. That is the crux of the matter. Whilst Yinka Bolu says, Rotus, a bag of rice? He goes on to say, a while ago, a ship got lost in this country. A plane once went missing. So what's a bag of rice? I can't even see the one in my house. Like he says, it's a good time for the Mexicans to erect a wall.
Yeah, I know. He's just saying that as far as that whole Trump thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, look at oil thefts. 29 billion or so that has been lost. I think NNPC said 1 trillion has been lost over the last 1 year. Oil bunkering, moving all that oil out of this country, can it happen without anybody seeing it? That's the issue. Anyway, on the aviation side of things, since I mentioned Kenya, I understand that Kenyan Airways is looking to hedge aviation fuel costs in order to try to reduce what it's paying. And Nigerian airlines might do it. When you're hedging, you are using, I think it's either futures or forward contracts to buy fuel now to be delivered at a future date at today's price in order to having to pay increased prices later on. You pay a premium for it as a fee that you have to pay for it. So it makes it a little bit more expensive. But if prices do rise, then you're covered. And in fact, Mexico, since I mentioned Mexico, they did that a few years back. Where they were able to hedge fuel costs, them selling. They were able to hedge costs and sell at a particular price when oil prices crashed. So Mexico was still able to get proceeds from that. But Nigerian airlines are still struggling with aviation fuel costs that have skyrocketed. I should mention that Kenya Airways is still a loss making airline. They lost about fiscal year 2021, 15 billion shillings. In 2020, it was like 32, 33 billion shillings. So the government of Kenya is still subsidizing Kenya Airways. And this fuel issue adds more issues of finance issues to the company and to the country. So will Nigerian Airlines follow suit? And is it even too late to hedge? Because where we are now, oil prices have been fluctuating up and down because of what's happening in the war. 1 minute there's peace talks, the next minute there's no peace talks. So I don't know if they'll go ahead and do it, but they're announcing that they might actually proceed with that. And then quickly from aviation to automobiles, I understand that Innocent Motors is looking to open up a new plant in Owerri in Imo State. Presently, I think they do about 10,000 cars per year. They're presently exporting to Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone, and a couple other countries, but they want to expand their production facilities. They've been hailing the new governor of Anambra State, Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who is a former central bank governor, and saying that, kudos to him for being the first governor to use Innocent Motors as an official vehicle. And they hope that more governors follow
suit
in order to promote made in Nigeria.
Rotus, why did you say it like that? You need to have seen it.
Well,
if you're not catching the YouTube feed, you can watch the replay later. But yes, to promote made in Nigeria, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, look, the Innocent Motors, we know that a lot of government officials drive foreign cars. And I'm not going to put the government officials. I drive a foreign car. Shokwa, you drive a foreign car. Yinka Bolu drives a foreign car. A lot of Nigerians drive foreign cars. So of supporting made in Nigeria products, they said the whole produce what you eat and eat what you produce. Charles Soludo is making a bold move by saying he's only going to drive Innocent vehicles. He's really promoted made in Anambra products and so on and so forth. So if you want to boost manufacturing, of course you need lights, you need power and all that, but it would help if more Nigerians patronize more made in Nigeria. Because over time the quality will rise. Because I know people start saying quality, this and that and this, but it helps. You got to start somewhere. And so for him to make that move, it's a boost for Innocent.
So Rotus, what I would say is yes, maybe this needs to be a top-down approach, because as with early adapters, sure, you're an early adapter, but then you also get exposed to all the risks and all the niggles that happen. So the teething problems, we'll just be stragglers. I'll be a straggler. I don't know about you, but we've got messages coming in to end the show because we've only got about a minute left. So let me see. Gilbert Musa from Festac says, as of January 2004, Obasanjo's government introduced 1 naira 50 kobo per liter of tax on petroleum products in Nigeria. I don't know if that is still in operation.
Gone. That's gone. Never happened.
Oh, wow. Gone. Okay. And Cisco Delgado says, by using made in Nigeria cars and products, it will boost our economy. Whilst EA says, Rotus, hedging as risk management is good, but the airline should consider the exchange rate risk also. However, when you buy forwards and futures, you don't pay anything. Mark to market can lead to losses for futures.
There's a point there. Especially on the exchange rate side. There is some exchange rate risk.
Let me put this one out from Yinka Bolu very quickly because it's the end of the show now. It says we need to get something clear about this missing or stolen crude lines out there. If you lack proper monitoring and accountability of your resources, please don't hinge it on stealing. We have lots of oil assets offshore in Nigeria, but specific installed capacity. Who monitors those outputs? I'm sure these assets sometimes produce more than their installed capacity and no one monitors it. And that is that. Thank you so much to all of you who sent in your messages. Although the show ends now, you can always go and watch the replay up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And you can direct all future comments over to Rotus at Rotankwood. He is up on Twitter.
Thank you so much, Shope. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that sent messages as well. Catch you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. And coming